Hello my friends, I'm back again to make another video. I think that I'm going to start this video with a little singing bowl action to kind of align the energies and kind of diffuse what needs to be diffused and let be what needs to be let. Feel that sensation. Allow. Just simply allow. That's all there needs to be as a state of allowance. A state of awareness. A state that connects all other states together to create one holistic approach to life. Now that we have aligned the energies, so to speak, I'd like to touch base on a subject that I was actually listening to today. You know, I have several teachers that have allowed me, or actually let me allow myself to remember more of who I actually am. Now, every time I hear from any teacher, anywhere, at any time, I know truly that that's just me talking to myself in effect. It's really kind of like one of my teachers would call it a permission slip. Now, to get a permission slip is really just to give permission for anything at any time for any reason. But they had touched on the idea of an oyster and a pearl, and the concept of the polarity of the pearl. The concept that you can take one particular idea, because everything is neutral, and attach two different separate meanings to it. What I mean is you have an oyster. And the oyster creates a pearl, of course. But the creation of the pearl can be seen from two different aspects. The first aspect is that inclusion, or that speck of sand, or whatever material is incorporated into the oyster. It can be perceived as an irritant. It can be perceived as something that is not of the whole, something that is not supposed to be there, something that is irritating. And in order to dispel this irritant from the negative perspective, it encapsulates it, encases it inside a kind of shiny material and kind of a hardened material to bury it. But always at that buried center is always the same root idea. Never goes away, never dissolves, nothing ever happens to it. That's definitely the negative perspective. And now, in the same regard, the other polarity would be the positive side. You would get that inclusion inside the oyster. And once that oyster has recognized and validated that imperfection, it there in turn creates, a synchronized matrimony, if you will. It creates an influx of understanding between the inclusion, or the speck of sand, and the actual oyster. And once it creates that symbiotic relationship, it then in turn secretes a reflective coating. It secretes a beautiful encapsulating material. And instead of burying that material and creating some kind of barrier or some kind of differentiation, like you're trying to hide it. The idea is to transform that said speck of sand into a beautiful pearl, into a beautiful idea that will then give back to society, will then give back to Mother Earth, will give back to all that is, will give back to everything. The universe, the multiverse, multidimensional verse, whatever you want to call it. It just gives back, period. And that can be attributed to anywhere and anything in society, in your life. If you're having a situation where you're having a rough time because of whatever situation, fill in the blank. And the idea is whatever meaning you give to it, I'm telling you, you'll get that effect from it. If you change the meaning you give it, you will in turn get a different effect from it. So it is really, really, really up to you. It's up to each and every one of you, and myself, of course, to define how that inclusion, so to speak, is going to affect your life. You can perpetuate that negativity all day long. But until you validate it, until you neutralize it, until you stand into the nexus point, the balance point of the said idea, you're going to keep perpetuating it over and over and over and over and over and over again. You have to stand directly at the apex of both sides of the equation. Take the polarity and turn it into a trinity. Turn it into not this or that. You got to turn it into a transformative idea. Turn it into something that's much more beneficial for you. That's what's most important. Because what people see, they see that they need to do what's important for them, or their neighbor, or their sister, or their wives, or their neighbors, or their friends, or whoever. But you can't be the best person for that said individuals, whoever they are, unless you're that person for yourself. So let's just take a moment and realize your existence. Realize the power that stands directly in the center of this paradox of whether it's going to be a negative situation or a positive situation. It is truly up to you. Like one of my favorite teachers, Alan, would say, it is up to you. You and you alone. Because you are everything else. You are anything else. You are the projector. You are the perceiver. You are the conceiver. You are the receiver. You're all of it. There's no aspect of it that you're not. And the only way you can perceive that you're not an aspect of it is just only if you give it that meaning. But like I said, it's fundamentally neutral. So stand at that balance point. Stand at that precipice and take charge. Take charge for who you actually are. Stand up for what you believe in. Stand up for what is inside of you. That's all. That's all there is. That's all there needs to be. Is this people following what really excites them. Following what their heart desires. And if people say, what my heart desires, my life can't support it. Well, redefine your life. Reorganize your life. Remember your life. Take the members and the portions of your life and reorganize them. That's all you need to do. You need to take down the barriers. You need to take down the expectations. You need to take down the systems that perpetuate the not, perpetuate the I can't, to perpetuate the notion that you can't. Because I'm here to tell each and every one of you that you can, you have several times. It is now time for each and every one of us to remember. Literally remember the vibration of what it felt like. Because the moment you feel what it felt like to be happy, guess what? You're happy. Whether you express it or not, you're in that vibrational frequency of happiness. And if you follow that thread, there will be no, should it be negative or positive? Because whatever it is going to be, you accept it. Because you're in the present. You're in that present moment. And it becomes a present for you. And it becomes a gift. And you can unwrap it like it's freaking Christmas every day of your life. It's so simple. Folks, it's so simple. Do not cloud your judgment. Do not... There's so many other things that you do not need. There's only one thing you need. And once you listen to your heart, you'll know exactly what that is. I love each and every one of you. And I will tell you, everybody have a wonderful, wonderful day.